What about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Forgot to hit the button. Can you hear me now? Let's see if that worked. I had to hit there's a button on my interface I didn't hit. Let me know if you can hear me now. Still no sound? I might have to restart the stream. All right, hold on. You're good? Loud and clear. Yeah, there's a button. I wonder if I could show you. No, I can't show you. The cord's too small. There's a button on my interface that I have to hit. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can't see it. Screw it. What's up, my dudes? What's up, Josie? What's up, Vic? What's up, everybody? So we're going to be talking training camp today. I'm not going to be talking about the linebackers. I told you guys, hey, maybe I'll do linebackers today, and then the next video I'll just do the secondary. But today there's some new updates to training camp timeline, to the roster size, to how the cap is going, like how they're going to pay for things. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins. We're going to talk about, training camp, and I don't know how many times I could say training camp, but next video, which is going to be Monday, is going to be the final training camp paddle video, and that's going to entail the linebackers and the secondary. You're going to get a big, fat, juicy video on Monday talking about linebackers and secondary, which is a lot because we have a good amount of linebackers and a good amount of corners and safeties. So I hope you guys are excited for Monday's video. Then Tuesday is the start of training camp, the 28th. And then hopefully we get some type of news, some updates. But again, I'll talk about the timeline for camp and when we can expect to hear some things. But then I got other videos. I got reasons to be excited for 2020, reasons to be cautious for 2020, things to expect. I got a lot of things. I got a lot of videos. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, because I got a lot of stuff going on. So first off, before we jump into the stuff, I want to see how all you guys are doing. I want to see what you do. Good. Yes, you guys can hear me. Yeah, there's a button I had to hit on this thing. What's up, Josie? What's up, Tommy? What's up, everyone? Isaac, is the media allowed in training camp? Will we get to see some videos from camp? Isaac, the reporters are allowed in training camp, right? Fans aren't, and it's a select, I think it's like 6 writers are allowed in training camp. No live tweets are allowed, no videos allowed. Probably because it's such a short amount of time that they're getting to practice and camp essentially before the start of the season, that they're keeping it on the DL real close, tight to the chest. So no live tweets, because if you guys have been with me forever, I've been doing this this is my 3rd year doing this stuff. When they tweet out like so-and-so just beat so-and-so, Fitzpatrick throws a touchdown to so-and-so, or whenever that stuff happened, I would come make a video and have it all written down, and I'd sit here and I tell you everything. They're not doing that this year. I don't know if after the fact, like after day whatever of camp, Omar Kelly or Adam Beasley or somebody comes out and writes an article saying, so-and-so did really well at camp today, and yada, yada. Because normally they have to, normally they'll tell you like formations. They'll say like, oh, running back went out of this gap and did well and broke off. Not this year. Unfortunately, not this year. Do you think the NFL season will start? I do. With all the precautions that have been taken and the agreement upon the new CBA and all that stuff, yes, I do. I do think it will. What's up? What's up, Chandler? How you doing, brother? City of Miami needs to get COVID under control. Hopefully the team stays healthy. They're doing precautions. I'm going to talk about that in about 2 minutes. I just kind of want to see how you guys are doing and chat it up. A bit off topic, Doug. You're going to have a lot of detailed packing to do. Yeah. We're closing in on the house. I don't want to jinx it. Hold on a second. I don't want to jinx it. I have to go knock on wood. We're getting to the point of closing on it. So hopefully soon I will be packing up and moving. So, yes. Roadrunner is in the house. Hey, Roadrunner, better behave. How can I become a Blue Wrench channel member? There's multiple ways. If I know who you are, MV Rounder. I've been chatting with you. So normally the way you become a mod is one, you can become a Patreon, like a bunch of my guys are, or you just come to all the live streams, come to the premieres, help me out, and be respectful. And I notice people. I notice people that help me out. I notice people that are helping out in the streams. I notice people that are being respectful, not starting with people and doing all that stuff. And then I just boop. I'll make you a mod. What's up, Sean? How you doing, bud? Do you like the poster, Sean? Sean got his poster of the signing. Let's show our boy Doug some love. Thank you, George. Indeed, I'm a Pete's fan. I'm a Pete fan. Real quick, before we jump, I'm going to talk about the timeline and everything. But before we jump into that, I just really quickly want to say, how about the Mets? I know it's one game. They're about to play today at 4:30, but they beat the Braves yesterday, 1-0. Cespedes, home run, won that game. So all to all the people that hate the Mets or don't like the Mets. How about the Mets? Okay, so let's talk about the camp timeline, right? So the NFL came out and the NFLPA, where's the likes at? Yeah, man, we got 100 here. Let's get some more likes. The NFL came out with a timeline because them and the PA essentially talked a bunch and they came to an agreement. Now, this is the timeline of how camp is going to start. Yeah, my fiance is okay with it being very awesome, Sean. So day one of camp, which is the 28th, is going to be testing and virtual meetings. Again, they're trying to keep their distance until they have a guarantee all cleared of no one testing positive. So you're going to get tested and then you're going to a virtual meeting, trying to keep your distance so to not spread it if people are testing positive. Day 2 and 3, just virtual meetings. Day 4, testing again, more virtual meetings. Day 5 and 6, you get physicals, again, to see how you're doing, especially because there hasn't been any type of physical activity, football, OTAs, any of that stuff all year, so you get your physicals. Day 7 to 15 is strength and conditioning. Again, this is something I talked about that is a worrisome because you could pull something very easily from not doing this stuff, not having OTAs, mini camps, all that stuff, and then just jumping right back into it. So from the day 7 to 15, you get strength and conditionings, and practice will finally start on day 16, which will be August 13th. That's when practice officially starts, is August 13th. And then the first padded practice will be day 21, which is August 18th. Now, the season doesn't start until, let me double check. Pull my calendar up. Season doesn't officially start until the 10th of September, that Thursday kickoff. The Dolphins don't play their first game until the 13th of September. So you got a good month after practice starts to try to get under it. So the first practice with pads will be August 18th, day 21 of training camp. So for about 16 days, it's a lot of virtual meetings, testing, physicals, and strength and conditioning. So essentially, they are taking OTAs, minicamp, and all that stuff, and they're compacting it into the first 15 days of training camp. And then day 16 is when training camp actually starts. What's up, Gray One? How you doing, brother? I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. It's just one game, Doug. Yeah. Is it, Pete? We'll see today. We'll see today if it's just one game. You got to admit, DeGrom had a really good opening day. September 10th. Yeah, that's the kickoff Thursday. Dolphins will play on the 13th. Again, it's the New England Patriots. Day 6 of custom Jason Taylor cover. Unexpected to be difficult. Hope I'll be happy with the first Miami Dolphins play on the cover. I hope so too. The pain of nothing to do. Yep. The first month will be the real test of how this is going to go. Yeah. And I'm going to make a video kind of what to expect with that first week of the season. Don't expect much. Don't expect much. So did Sorka, my dude? Yeah. But we won. But it was a 1-0 game. So it was very good pitching on both sides. I will say that. Will you be going to any games if fans are allowed? JM, unfortunately, unless the Jets somehow let fans into the stadium, unfortunately this year I will not, being that I have a baby due in December and I am buying a new house. I cannot afford to be going down to Miami this year. Next year is a horse of a different color because fans will be allowed to go, and you bet your bottom dollar that I will be there. I'm going to try to do like a 4-day trip down to Miami next year, maybe like a Friday to Monday, so I can do meet and greets and stuff on Saturday, go to the game with you guys, and then do something on Monday. I got a whole plan for next season, but this season, unfortunately, with limited capacity, I doubt I'll be able to even get a ticket if I wanted to go. But with having a baby in December and buying a house, I just can't afford it this year. How do you think not having preseason will affect the roster? I don't think it'll affect it that bad, to be honest with you. I think looking at the roster, which I'll try to do my 53-man roster prediction. I'll try to get it in before they make cuts. I don't think it'll really affect it because there are fringe guys. There's guys that the Dolphins brought in to just see, hey, can you make it? And yes, there are players like Preston Williams and all these other guys that were undrafted guys, but you knew what Preston Williams can do. You saw what Preston Williams could do in camp, and you knew that kid was going to make the team. There'll be some guys that are struggling throughout camp, and you knew, listen, we gave you a shot. We wanted to see if you can, prove us wrong. You kind of didn't. We're sorry to let you go. But yeah, let me just change my ISO a little bit. It's getting a little. There we go. Lighten that sucker up. I'm trying to go to Doug next year. Yeah, next year, I promise you guys I will be at a game next year. I'm doing, like I said, I'm going to do a 4-day trip to Miami, Friday to Monday, meet and greet Saturday. We'll do a big hangout Saturday. We'll do a big tailgate Sunday. That's the other thing. Like, say I do go to the game this year, I can't really hang out with you guys because there's no tailgating. That's the best part of going to football games is you need those tailgating. Raise this up a little bit more. It's getting a little too dark in here. Any news? Tankersley Health? No news yet out of camp when it comes to. That's the thing too, is we're not going to get a lot of impact and a lot of news when so and so tested positive or so and so this. Hush hush. Especially with Brian Flores. Tua didn't even know the Dolphins were going to draft him. Tua thought the Dolphins wanted nothing to do with him. He even commended Brian Flores for that. Keeps it tight to the chest. So you won't see videos of Tua walking into the building. You won't see videos of any of this stuff. They might do little interviews with Miami Dolphins YouTube channel or the website. But other than that, Brian Flores doesn't want you to know anything about anything with this team. I think he probably absolutely loves that these reporters can't live tweet. He'll love it. Oops, 10-minute power nap. Let's go Miami. Doug, you didn't think about my question I asked a few episodes ago. What question was that, Michael? Ask it again, bud. Who do you think we should cut if it stays at 80-player max roster? I'm going to make a video about that, Lewis. I'm going to look at the roster and give you guys a video. I have to do it before Tuesday because that's when they're cutting. Maybe I'll do this video tomorrow. But I'll try to do a video. But here's the thing, right? Here's another update that came out from the meetings with the NFL and the NFLPA. You can keep 90 players on your roster during camp, right? If you do a split squad setup. So essentially you have half of your roster in one area, half of your roster in the other. So you technically can keep 90. So the Dolphins can add another 4 on because we're sitting at 86 right now with Lima deciding to retire. So the Dolphins can have 90 if they split it. And essentially what that means is some teams are actually already doing that, where they're taking half of the roster and having them have training camp in the stadium and the other half having it in their dome. So you can technically still have 90, you just have to split it up. Doug, congratulations on your firstborn. Thank you, Mace. I appreciate that. I appreciate the $2 donation. What's up, Alex? Doug, which rookie are you most excited to see this season? Maybe besides Tua. I want to see what Raekwon Davis can do. I want to see if he can become a serious impact with Brian Flores' coaching. I'm really excited to see him. What do you think would happen if the Miami Seahawks had a good first season? What would I think if the Miami Seahawks? I think regardless they would have changed their name to the Dolphins. To be honest with you, I think the way that everything went was for a reason, and I think it still would have happened this way. It was a lot to type. Let me see. PFF came up with an idea of a team 33 where all the cut players could sign up for a chance to practice and get tape for teams to see them for later in the season. That's not a bad idea, but the only thing is you just got to worry about the testing and you got to worry about the health of the players. I think that's the biggest reason for cutting it down to 80. I'm going to say Tua Tagovailoa's name 10,000 times in a live stream and see if Tua will join. Maybe if I'm lucky, Tua will send me an autographed jersey. Would you join? Depends on when you're doing it. Everyone comment what time it is where you are. I'd like to see Malcolm Perry play. Yeah, but here's the thing with Malcolm Perry. I don't think he's going to be on the field as much, especially the first season, because they're still trying to install the offense. Not saying he's not going to get playing time. He'll definitely get playing time, but I don't think he'll be on the field as much as like Raekwon Davis, Austin Jackson, Hunt, if he wins the right tackle position. If he doesn't, Solomon, if he wins the guard position, Curtis Weaver, all that stuff. I think it's good to know the history. Yeah, 100%. History is very important. Who do you think will have a better year, Mcmillan or Baker? I think Baker will. I like Mcmillan. He just needs to show that he could be more than a run-stopping linebacker. You know how Washington has to change their name? Wait for the Braves have to change their name as well. I'm not going to talk about it. There's certain subjects I'm just not going to talk about. That's one of them. Because I give my opinion, people are going to get upset one way or the other. And I tend to stay away from those subjects. One last thing I want to talk about, and that is practice squad. Practice squad, we are now allowed 16 practice squad players versus the 12. And 6 of those practice squad players could be vets no matter what. So we can, instead of having like, the way the practice squad works is you have to, there's like certain rules. 3 years non-playing time, and you can only be on the practice squad, I think, two or three times. Now it's 6 vets no matter what can be on the practice squad. So with those exceptions, it doesn't matter who can be on the practice squad. So now we get 16 players on the practice squad. And I think I remember them talking about having it that you can have, take 10 of them and have them be like secured that no one can poach off your practice squad, which is good because if Render doesn't make it, then, say the Dolphins want to put Render on practice squad, I think that the Patriots come and try to snatch him up. The Washington football team. Yeah, that's their name for now. I hope for Hunt to be a breakout player. Yeah, so do I. How many wide receivers are we carrying this season? Well, the fact that the Dolphins, I keep having something in my eye. The fact that the Dolphins probably going to run a 3 wide receiver base set, I would probably think of around 6 or 7. You want to have depth in case of injuries and stuff. So, I expect that. Well, Benito, I appreciate that, my friend. Enjoy my sports platform coming in August. Would you trade Jamal Adams for Xavier Howard? No. Because the fact that he's coming out and saying the things that he's saying, regardless if I think he's wrong or not. And the fact that he made a list of teams that he wants to play for a discount. I'm not for having a player that will hold the team for ransom. Like, I get if you want to be traded and stuff, then yeah. And especially if you have the reasons for it. Yeah, but I keep it on the DL. Like with Kenyon Drake, right? Kenyon Drake, the Miami Dolphins wanted to re-sign him, right? And the Miami Dolphins tried to re-sign him. And they sat down with him multiple times and said, hey, look, we're going to offer you a contract. We want to keep you on the team for a blank amount of years. He said to the team, to the owner, to the head coach, all these guys, listen, I'm really want to test free agency. And I want to see what I can do out in the market. So the Dolphins said, okay, we respect that. And they traded him to get something for him versus nothing. That is what you do as a professional. You know, you keep it between the team and the owners, you know, and you talk about it. Nah, and then they make the decision without making it a big specular, without making it a big thing. You just do your thing. So Jamal Adams is a very dynamic, very good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say he sucks, but it kind of gives me a little bit of taste of Mika Fitzpatrick. And you guys know how I feel about Mika. You guys know how I feel about Mika. Do you think we'll move Noah Igbenogany to safety? No idea how to pronounce or spell his name. I don't know how to spell it off the top of my head, but it's Igbenogany. That's how you pronounce it. Yeah. I think it could go. I think a lot of these people, don't be surprised if at some point Byron Jones is in safety. I don't think they'll do it, but these guys can play multiple positions. Ray with the $5 donation. You gave me a diaper fund. Thank you, Ray. I'm going to need it. Need a lot of these diapers for this new baby girl. It's coming into the world. Not like that big baby. Yep. Yeah, I think you're right, Lewis. I'd have to look it up. I can't spell half the things. I can't spell receive or believe. I always get my I's and my E's mixed up, but I can pronounce it. Once I hear it, I can pronounce it. Like if someone says to me, like I think I was saying Igbenogany at first, and then someone was like, no, it's Igbenogany. And I was like, oh. So once I say it, I'm good. What's up, Andrew? How you doing? What's up, Havoc? Havoc's in the house. I demand 100 likes on this video. We got 148 in here. We only need another 46 more likes. And then the last thing I want to talk about with the updates, and then we'll just have a big old chat where you guys ask me football questions and we'll talk about the roster and stuff, is the guaranteed money when it comes to these players, right? So Tom Pelissero says some more details from what is on the table being discussed. 2020 will be a no play, no pay. All salaries, incentives will go away if games are stopped. So what he means is fully guaranteed 2020 salaries will be on a pay-as-you-go basis. But if games are lost, any guarantees not paid out would convert to cover the future. No guaranteed salaries, non-guaranteed salaries. If that money is never earned in salary, it'd be paid as a benefit in 2024 or beyond. So essentially what he's saying is you don't play, you don't get paid. But if you do play, you'll get paid, obviously. But if their season is cut short for whatever reason, then if you have guaranteed money for that season, they'll just take the guaranteed section. So whatever money they owe you for guarantees, and they'll just push it to another part of the season where you don't have guaranteed money. So say like in 2023, Xavier Howard has no guaranteed money. We can cut him for nothing. And the season's cut this year. They'll take that guaranteed money and push it to the 2023 contract. DFS Hobby with a $5 donation. Baby wipes are needed as well, bro. Stay blessed. Congrats on the new home, new baby, Doug. You and your family and the chat stay blessed forever. Thank you, DFS, and thank you for the $5 donation for the baby wipes. I'm gonna need them. First time dad. I'm excited but terrified. Same thing with the house. I'm excited but terrified. I'm excited for you guys to see the studio that I'm building. It's gonna be nice. Like I said, if you guys notice, I have a corner. So there's the corner. I put the bookshelf in the corner. With my new studio, I'm going to have a flat wall behind me. So I'm going to have two of these shelves on either side of me. Look at it, like planned out in my head. 2 of these shelves on either side of me with all this great stuff on both sides of me. And then I'm going to try to get both my flags kind of and all this stuff. I got a plan for the wall behind me. It's going to be pretty friggin' awesome. You're moving just like Eli Mack. I had my baby girl first time. They are the best, Doug. Yeah, I'm excited. Well, like I said, I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. How many more players do the Dolphins have to cut before training camp because of the 80-man roster? Well, if they do a split squad, they don't need to cut anyone. Because again, like I said before, you can carry 90 if you do a split squad, which means you split your training camp. You know, if they are like, I know they're building a training camp facility near the stadium, and I know here the Giants training camp is right next to the stadium. If you split it and have half your training camp in the stadium and half on the practice squad field or the practice field, you're allowed to have 90. So it depends on which teams are going to do split camps. They can have 90 players. But as of right now, the Miami Dolphins are sitting at 86 players with Lima retiring. So they need 6 more if they're not going to do a split camp. Mace with the $2 donation. 2 will start in 2020. GOAT. If he is ready and raring to go, and Brian Flores thinks he's the best, then yeah. I would like a split squad, safer for players. Yes, I agree, Vic, 100%. What a good chat room. What's good, DDW? What's up, good King Mill? How you doing, bud? Should be plenty of Jets attire in your area to use for diapers. That's a good one, Sean. I don't want any Jet apparel touching her, though. I don't touch anything Jets. Here's a fun story. I've told this one before, but I was playing. I was like 17, and I went over to my friend's house who was a Jets fan to play Madden. And he was sitting in one of those like pop-out tailgating chairs. And I'm like looking around, like, where am I going to sit? And he pulls out a Jets one. And he was like, you could sit here. I sat on the floor. And then about a week ago, my fiance's mother was giving her like stuff to wear, like bigger, baggier stuff to wear because she's starting to get a belly. And she was like, ooh, put this on. And it was a Yankees jersey. Mind you, my fiance is a Red Sox fan. She's a Red Sox fan. I'm a Mets fan. We both hate the Yankees. So it was a Yankees jersey. And I'm sitting in the living room and I hear her mother say that. Oh, it's here. Put this Yankees jersey on. And I go, do not put that Yankees jersey on. And they both start laughing in the bedroom. And she comes out and she's holding it. And I'm like, don't put the jersey on. I'm like, you're a Red Sox fan. What are you doing? I'm like, why are you even holding it? She ended up putting it on because she doesn't give that much. She doesn't care that much about sports as much as I do and rivalries. Don't get me wrong. She hates the Yankees, but it doesn't bother her. So she put the Yankees jersey on and I was like, take it off. Take it off. It's too close to my daughter. Take it off. I don't want any Yankees, Jets, Bills, Patriots, none of that stuff near my daughter. Get out of here. Jets don't stop anything. Yeah, I'll be leaking everywhere. I heard something about the Jags wanting to trade Fournette. I didn't know if it was true, though. Yeah, Lewis, that's been going on before the draft. It probably won't happen now. I'm a Blue Jays fan. They're in Buffalo, right? I think that's where they're playing now. Lewis in Buffalo. Can't wait to see our stud corners, but I don't like our safeties. Rowe McCain needs to play nickel and dime. Eric Rowe was really good at safety. When he was moved from corner to safety, Chauncey, he played really well. He got a contract extension playing safety. So I disagree with Eric Rowe at safety. I really like him at safety. Bobby McCain, he needs to prove it to me a little bit more. But I disagree with Eric Rowe. I think he's really good at safety. That's how I feel about the Jets and the Pats. Any updates on players paying an escargot for the season? What? Oh, the escrow. I got really confused, Trey. I was like, snails? That's not happening. Yeah, no, they're not taking any percentage of their salary cap. Who has a better chance to make the team, Cole or Merritt? I'm gonna say Kirk. I think I don't know, but Matt Cole is a really good slot wide receiver. I honestly think they're both going to make the team. I think Matt Cole is going to be the kick returner, and I think Kirk Merritt's going to make the team. If it comes between Kirk Merritt and Allen Hurns, and they're both playing equally as well, I think Allen Hurns gets cut, and I think the Dolphins save $2 million cutting Allen Hurns, and Kirk Merritt will make the roster. That's what I think. Simon, don't even put that into existence. We need to sit Tua for the whole season. I trust the team. I trust Brian Flores. He hasn't proven me wrong. He put Fitz in at the beginning of the season. Fitz kind of fell apart. He's playing some really good teams. What do you expect? He tried Rosen. Rosen started to fall apart. Again, the team wasn't what it was. Then he put Fitz back in, and Fitz just started playing much better. He took Eric Rowe, moved him from corner to safety, played really well. He's made some moves. He's made more moves that I was like, all right, that's a smart move. Then he's made moves where I was like, that's a dumb move. The only move that I think he did that I think was a dumb move was taking Bobby McCain, putting him at safety. Other than that, I kind of like all the moves Brian Flores is making. So I kind of trust him. And if he thinks that Tua's ready to go, then all right, let's see what Tua can do. But if that offensive line looks like Swiss cheese, I don't think he will put him out there to run around like a chicken with its head cut off. What's up, Jeremy? Hey, Doug. So how are you doing? I'm doing good. Doing good on this Saturday. I forgot what the exact term was. It's all right, Trey. What you have against Allen Hurns? Jeremy, it's nothing against Allen Hurns. It's more if there is a younger, cheaper player that's equal to him, I would take the younger, cheaper player because you'll have him for longer. But Allen Hurns had one good season in Jacksonville, over 1,000 yards. I need him to prove more to me. But again, I have nothing against Allen Hurns. But if you say to me, hey, you can either have Allen Hurns, who is going to cost you about $2.8 million this year, or you can cut him and save, and it's a dead cap of 800,000, so you save $2 million. Or you can have Kirk Merritt, who's younger. You'll have him for more years for cheaper. And again, cheaper. And they're the same. Like if they're exactly the same, there's no difference between the two when it comes to talent and everything. I'm taking the younger, cheaper option. Nothing against them, just younger, cheaper option. Hey, Doug, I was watching another YouTuber. He mentioned moving Noah to safety, and moving Bobby back to nickel. I thought this is a good idea. Thoughts? I can see it being tested in training camp. I could see Brian Flores trying to get it to work, but we'll see. Allen Hurns is a GOAT. Brad, I don't know. Brad, I think you're messing with me. Talking my honest opinion, I think we should cut both Allen and Albert so we can keep both Matt Cole and Kirk Merritt. I don't see the Dolphins cutting Albert Wilson. He took a huge pay cut to stay on the roster, so to cut him kind of just, it doesn't make sense. You can keep Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Albert Wilson, Jakeem Grant, Kirk Merritt, Matt Cole. You can keep them on the team. That's 6 wide receivers right there. You don't have to cut Albert Wilson. Are we going to get any footage from training camp? No, you will not, Caden. They're keeping it hush-hush. What's up, Nirvana? Maybe Allen Hurns needs a better quarterback who's going to spread the ball around. Devontae Parker did really well with Fitzpatrick. That's the thing, though. If you're not open, you're not going to get the ball thrown to you. That's some things that we don't realize when we watch the game. A lot of times when we watch the game, they don't show the entire field, right? And they show where the ball is. So the ball gets snapped. You essentially see the defensive line to the quarterback. You see a very finite window, right? A lot of times you don't see the wide receivers running their routes if they're open, if they're not open, until they do an instant replay to kind of show, oh, look how well the defense cover these guys. So, if you're not open, you're not going to get the ball thrown to you. So you got to look back at the tape and everything and see if Allen Hurns was getting open effectively and constantly. Again, I'm not saying Allen Hurns is bad. I'm saying if you have the option between Allen Hurns and Kirk Merritt, I'm taking Kirk Merritt if they're the same exact player and the same exact skill set. One is cheaper and you have them for longer. Yeah, Miles, there's no preseason this year. Do you think Perry will beat out Grant? I think they're both going to make the roster. TD mentioned the other day that he was house hunting too. Oh, I hope he finds something good. What do you think about Ricardo Lewis? I made a video talking about the wide receivers a while back. Not a while back. I think it was like last week. They're the guys that need to, they're the battle to make the roster. Carter Lewis, Alan Hearns, Marlon Mack, like all these guys. These are the guys that are fighting to make the roster. And the undrafted guys. I'm not saying the undrafted guys are locked in to make the roster. I like them. I think they'll make the roster. But those are the guys that are fighting to make the roster. I think the guys that are locked in to make the roster are Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Jakeem Grant, Albert Wilson. I think those are the only wide receivers right now that are, in my eyes, are a lock to make the roster. Everyone else, they're the battle. They're competing to make the roster. Doug, I'd rather much have Matt Cole, as our perimeter slot receiver instead of Albert Wilson. Matt Cole hasn't played in the NFL. And that's probably why, again, we'll see what happens. But I don't see the Dolphins asking Albert Wilson to take a pay cut, Albert Wilson taking a pay cut and then being cut. It doesn't add up to me. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. What if the cheaper player plays bad? Then what? Then you don't keep the cheaper player. The whole point of what I'm saying is, if the cheaper player is playing worse, why would you keep the cheaper player? That's why I said, if Alan Hearns and Kirk Merritt are playing exactly the same, have the exact same skill set, I'm taking the cheaper, younger player. But if they're not, then obviously I'm not taking the cheaper, younger player. Hey, Doug, has the NFL changed the roster size or made cut days later because of no preseason? No. Essentially, like I said before, is if you're doing a split squad training camp, you can keep 90, which means you have 2 different training camps in 2 different areas. So one in the training camp facility and one in the stadium. Then you can keep 90. If not, then you have to be cut down to 80. What's the update on the remaining free agents? Do you think the Dolphins will go after one? No, Andres. There will probably be a drop in the cap space next year. So I honestly don't see the Dolphins signing anybody, because their Dolphins right now are probably sitting at roughly 13 million in cap space. They're going to carry that over to next season, so they have cap space to do more, to build the team more, to start becoming contenders and all that stuff. So to go out and sign players now, it just doesn't make sense, especially because you can't really do physicals, and it's a long, tedious process to just get the people in the building. No, the Dolphins are done. Unless somebody unfortunately gets injured, which I hope doesn't happen, they're done. Doug, with this upgrade offense, Fitzpatrick will lead us to the playoffs. If he doesn't get hurt, mark my words, the defense will see it too. I hope so. If Merritt doesn't make our roster, he will be on another roster the same day we cut him. Yes, I agree. I feel bad for the guys at the bottom of the list. They rely on preseason games to stay on the team. Yeah. Not even to stay on the team, Nirvana. They rely on preseason games to put tape out there for other teams to potentially grab them and see what they can do. So it's not even just to make the team, but to make a roster. Since we're going into a pseudo blackout period with training camp, do you mind listing your top 5 trusted beat cover writers, podcasters? You're on my list. Well, Jason, thank you. I'm glad I made your list. A lot of people don't like him, but he does give you a lot of news, and he calls it like it is. And, there's some things I don't like about him, but if you want your Dolphin news, he's one of the guys to follow. Omar Kelly, Adam Beasley, Barry Jackson, Safid Dean. I'm trying to think of a 5th one. Oh, Travis Wingfield. Hello, my guy, Travis. Those are the top 5. Hey, do you think our pass rush will be better? Why are you crying so much, Joe? Yeah, I do. We added 2 defensive ends that got 12 sacks last year on a limited time basis versus a team that got 23 altogether. So these 2 guys that we added accounted for half of the team's sacks, and they didn't even play full seasons. So yeah, I think our pass rush will be better. Doug, question: if both Matt Cole and Jakeem Grant are playing at the same level during training camp, who do you cut off the roster after training camp before the season starts? Neither. Why can't we keep both? Why do I have to have one or the other? Two different types of players. Yes, they're both small, speedy guys, but they're two different types of players. Doug, who will emerge as the leader of this year's Dolphin defense? Well, I'm hearing Devon Gotchow is a huge leader on that defense. Kyle Van Noy will probably be another, but Byron Jones. So if I had to pick like the defensive captains, it would be Devon Gotchow, Kyle Van Noy, and Byron Jones. I'm hearing very good things about those guys, and those guys will, continue to kick. But hey, Doug, you mentioned information coming in training camp hush hush. I don't understand why when normally it's public. That's because, Daniel, normally it's public because you get OTAs mini camp, rookie mini camp, and then training camp, right? So you could spread it all out. And again, hush hush in the aspect of, yes, we used to get live stuff, but it wasn't everything. There's no live video feed or anything like that. So it was always limited. But it's even more hush hush because you don't get 4 or 5 months of training camp, OTAs, mini camps. You literally get a month to get your players in and get them to do what they need to do. So instead of, slowly trickling things in and slowly adding things and having things be behind closed doors, because there'll be certain training camps, certain OTAs that are closed off to the media. This time there isn't. This time there isn't time for that. So they're trying to fit playbooks and everything into 30 days. So that's why it's very hush, 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 hush. Dolphins will be surprised of the East. Yes, they will. A lot of people underestimate the Dolphins. I'm not predicting, anything right now, but I will say the Dolphins will be better than last year. And a lot of people are going to be eating some crow. So many new players in camp. I think a lot of last year's players will be let go. We'll see. I don't think so. I think they would have been let go by now if they would have. Doug, who is my dream scenario for the draft? Our pick is between 11 and 25. Houston's pick is 10 and 15. With our picks, we draft Alex Leatherwood, and with Houston's pick, we draft Creed Humphrey options. We'll see. I'm going to be rooting hard against the Houston Texans now. Hard. Dolphins AFC East have a tough schedule this year. I made a video about it. Miles, I don't look at strength of schedule. You can go back. I think I made that video about a month ago. Strength of schedule means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. All it is they look at last year's teams on your schedule, looks at their record, and then says, hey, this is who you're playing. Wow, this is tough. Last year, the top 5 toughest strength of schedule, when the season ended, they actually had the easiest strength of schedule. It means 0. Absolutely nothing. I don't look at strength of schedule because teams change drastically over the years. Players get cut, people get injured, things happen. I never, ever look at strength of schedule. Doug, depending on the quarterback situation, I really think we can sneak into the playoffs having Parker Preston Williams, the new running backs, and better on defense. Yeah, I agree 100%. It's on the trenches. If this offensive line cannot produce anything, then no, we won't be making the playoffs. The offensive line needs to work. The defensive line needs to work. If they don't, Doug, for the safety of having players available, if some get sick, would you separate the 90 players in 2 squads? Would you split offense and defense, or separate offense and defense? I don't know. That's a good question. That's a very good question. I don't know. Will Ryan Fitzpatrick's skill set and physical traits help him mentor Tua? I think they both play making semi-mobile quarterbacks with playing ability outside the pocket and average arms. Jeremy, the fact that Fitzpatrick is a very incredibly smart guy and understands football and all aspects of the game, I think he'll be a huge asset to both Rosen and Tua. A huge aspect. Because he will tell them when there's certain things as a quarterback, right? You can't get flustered, right? Like, that's the one thing with Tannehill. He used to take huge hits to try to get that ball out, right? Sometimes that's what you got to do. You have to have that internal clock, and that's something that Fitz will probably teach them. Listen, if you see someone coming, you need to either decide to take off or look to see if someone's going to get in the way and block. Take a step up, to decide to where to move in the pocket if you need one more second for your guy to get open. Joseph, the $5 donation. How can you guy every Dolphins game this year? How can you... Joseph, thank you for the $5 donation. But what do you mean? How can you watch every Dolphins game this year? Why is there an ad when I rejoin the stream? I don't know. That's YouTube, Simon. 100 likes. Well done. Oh, it's 99. Roadrunner. I thought it was 100 likes. Joseph, reword that. I don't know what you mean, bud. Doug, if Parker doesn't play good when he cut them after the game like he did O'Leary and tight end. Doug, if a player, wow, I'm dumb, doesn't play good when he cuts them. So essentially, Jeremy, you're asking like with O'Leary with that Steelers game, how he played horrible. It depends. Players have bad games. He didn't cut Xavier Howard after the Cowboys game. It all depends. If there's a trend, because this is the other thing we have to realize. Brian Flores sees them in camp and practices and everything. So he could see a trend, and he could see like, I gave this guy like 100 shots. It's just not working. What did you get it watch? How do you watch the game every? I don't know. There's a multiple different ways you can watch every game this year. You can pay for it with DirecTV. I think they have a cheaper package now with not being able to go to the games. 107 likes. We broke 100 likes. Thank you guys so much for that. Let's see if we can break 200 before the stream's over. We're going to be hanging out for another 20 minutes. And then I got a lot to do today. Got a lot of cleaning, maybe some packing. This is going to be the last thing that I pack. But at some point, you are going to see this start to slowly dwindle away because I'm going to start packing it up. Maybe you'll start to get phone videos instead of these professional-ass videos. Yeah, I believe our D-line will be more solid because of the addition on the line and our secondary defense. Yes, 100% agree. It's a yin and yang situation. Football in a whole, when it comes to, it's a team sport. We all know it's a team sport because if it wasn't a team sport, the 90s and the 90s Dolphins would have had way more Super Bowls just with Dan Marino alone. It's a team sport, right? Especially on defense. If you get no pass rush and you expect your corners to cover a wide receiver for 8 seconds, then you're going to have a Cowboys situation with Xavier Howard where the wide receiver is going to start running all these routes and Xavier Howard is going to be constantly trying to stick with them. Then eventually the quarterback is going to run out of the pocket. The wide receiver is going to, and then just boop. It's a yin and yang situation because there's also situations where, okay, say that the pass rush is getting there constantly, but the secondary can't cover, a nosebleed. I don't know why I said that. So essentially what the offense is going to do is they know that they are constantly getting a pass rush. And this is what the Dolphins did when they actually won their 5 games, is they noticed that they don't have time to throw the ball. Ryan Fitzpatrick last year with this offensive line had 2.23 seconds average to throw the ball before he got hit. It's disgusting. So what they would do is they'll just throw quick slants, screens, and all these quick plays for the quarterback to just step back, look, and get the ball out. If you have good corners, again, yin and yang situation, you can press that wide receiver. So if they're going to run a quick slant, you jam them at the line of scrimmage. They're not getting open. The quarterback drops back, looks for the slant. Slant's not there, looks to look for somewhere else. Oh my gosh, here comes a sack. I'm dead. So it's a very yin and yang situation when it comes to football, especially, you stop the run and all that stuff. First thing put up at the new place, Finn's Palace. I want to get signs made. I have the sign up here that one of you guys sent me from Cutout Creations. It says Dolphins football with DDW in it. It's metal. I sent one of them to one of you guys. Hey, Doug, what do you think we should do in next year's draft? We have 2 firsts, 2 seconds. I don't know, Chauncey. That's way too far into the future. I don't even know when we're picking. Exactly. Marino only ever had 3 top 10 defenses in his tenure with the Miami Dolphins, not to mention only 1,000-yard rusher. Just shows you can be transcendent, but need both sides to win. Yes, Finside the NFL, aka Reason. I'm assuming that's Reason. I don't think that's EM. But yes, definitely Finside. And thank you for hanging out. How are you guys doing? Greg with the $5 donation. Hey, Doug. Love you, Doug. Laugh my ass off. I love you too, Greg. Thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate that. Get Roku TV, not the stick. You guys talking illegal stuff? What are you guys talking about over here? Doug, because of the COVID-19 situation, will they play 2-hand touch and no more tackle? What do you think? No, they're going to be tackling. They're going to be tackling. Man, Dan Marino needed a running game, but he likes to throw that ball. Yeah, he does. Don't get me wrong. The man used to audible to throws all the time, but he did rely on the run. How's Tua looking? Healthy. He said he's 100% to go, but I don't know. There's no reports. Rose in 2020, Roadrunner says. Receivers and running backs can be found in the 3rd and 4th round. Yes, they can. What would you offer Gotchow if he plays good this year? Probably offer him like a 3-year contract. I'm trying to think of what the average for a defensive tackle is. I don't know, $9 million a year, give or take. I'm afraid he's rushing himself. Who, Tua? He's not. Just so you guys know, Tua's a very important piece of this Miami Dolphins organization, and Tua probably has 900 different people checking on him, training him, giving him physicals, checking the hip, checking that. There's no rushing this man. If the team doesn't think he's ready, they're not rushing him. It's very important, especially to Brian Flores. If Tua doesn't crack out, and if Tua doesn't become, every head coach has a quarterback attached to their name. Whether it's drafted, whether it's signed, whether it's whatever, they have a quarterback attached to their name. And when that quarterback fails, the head coach gets fired. We've seen it a lot with a lot of different players. They draft this quarterback fails, coach gets fired. Well, we got to bring somebody else in to help this quarterback. Bring another head coach in. Hey, I can change this quarterback. I can make this quarterback good. All right. Well, now your name's attached to that quarterback. Quarterback fails, coach gets fired. So Brian Flores isn't going to, take this lightly. Everybody got Player of the Year, Christian Wilkins? I think so. Got some help around him. Do you think that if we can get a 2nd or 3rd round pick for Josh Rosen, we should trade him? Lewis, why are you trying to get me in trouble? Lewis, you're trying to get me in trouble. I don't know if I want to answer that, Lewis. Get me in trouble. Yeah, I'm moving. I'm in the process of getting a new house. I live in an apartment. I've been living with my girlfriend, now fiance, we've been together 5 years, living together for 3 years. She is pregnant with my first child of a baby girl, and we are in the process of buying a house. So I'm going to have more space and all that stuff. If you can get a 2nd or 3rd for Rosen, I'll drive him to the airport myself and pack his bags. Finside the NFL said that, aka Rosen said that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. I'm sorry. Lewis, you're gonna get me in trouble. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna call it like I see it. And this has nothing to do with my thoughts. I'm gonna answer Lewis's question. I'm just busting balls. Listen, this has nothing to do with my thoughts on if Rosen's good, if Rosen will make the team, it has nothing to do with Rosen and all having to do with Lewis's hypothetical question. So do not dig too far into this, and do not come at me saying, go give a kid a chance, because I've said it thousands of times. I have receipts all over this YouTube channel of my thoughts on Rosen. If the Miami Dolphins can get a 2nd or 3rd round pick for Josh Rosen, That's a hard question. That's a hard question. Because I like Rosen, and I like Rosen how cheap he is, and how he would be a good competition for Tua. If I can get a second for him, I don't know. That's a hard question, Lewis. I'll give you that. That's a good question. It's not something I could just say, yeah, I'll do it, because you got to think of the future and the competition. I don't know. Maybe. Do you want to talk about my kind of comment of the day? Sure. What was it, Sean? Oh, let's hear this. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's Roadrunner. He's gonna get mad at me. Rosen is not the future. If you can get assets for him, pull the trigger. I am not saying these things. I'm reading these things. This isn't coming from my mouth. I'm saying these things. I like you do. Be careful. I didn't say anything. There's some touchy subjects on this about this team. Two of the touchiest subjects are the quarterbacks, Rosen and Tua. Oh, Tad Tardif, I think that's his name. He's an offensive lineman from the Chiefs. Took the year off to help with the virus. Yeah, I commend him on Twitter. I said, good for you, man. I hope he stays healthy, comes back in 2021, plays some football for the Chiefs. It's a good move. Good move for him. I commend it. I really do. So what's going on with what's going to be the new name? I'm not talking about it, Miles. There's too many sensitive people in the world for me to talk about things like that. Can we pack Finside the NFL bag too? Wait, what? What are you talking about, Flipside? Was Chad Pennington our best quarterback of the last 2 decades? In what aspect are you asking that? Like successful? Sure, he won a division, but best, I would say Ryan Tannehill was our best quarterback. What will the Dolphins give to Tua to make him better than he didn't have in Alabama? What tools, which players of our roster will make him better? That's a good question, Sergio. If you guys go back and watch my LSU versus Alabama tape breakdown, he had a horrible offensive line play that game. He had a good running back, really good running back. His wide receivers kind of disappeared that game, but again, first rounders at wide receiver. I don't know. It's a good question, though, Sergio. It's a really good question. To be the first Dolphins cover athlete for a football game. Hey, he's already gotten, I think he's doing like protein shakes and stuff like that. I've already seen commercials for him. It's about when's the last time you guys saw a commercial with a Dolphin player in it? So that's pretty cool. Doug, why did Don Shula didn't draft Emmitt Smith? Oh, I don't know, Jeremy. I was too young for that. When did Emmitt Smith get drafted? To all my OG Dolphin fans, OG football fans, the guys that are older than me, essentially. I'm 33. Oh, 32. I should stop trying to jump further in age. I'll be 33 in September. Marino Isotoners. Yeah, that was a long time ago. When was Emmitt Smith drafted? Help me out here, fellas. Who copied who on the war chant during games, FSU or Kansas City Chiefs? I don't know that one, Sean. Early 90s? Do you have an exact date? I don't feel like having to like type and look it up. I'll just look it up. $1990. Who said it first? Caesar said it first. He wins. 1990. I was 3. So asking me any question about why the Dolphins didn't draft Emmitt Smith, I was 3. Let's look at that. Like I'm looking at that draft now, right? So the Miami Dolphins took Richmond Webb, one of the best left tackles who's not in the Hall of Fame. He was on the channel. Go back, check out that video. Richmond Webb, awesome human being. When did the Dallas Cowboys? Oh, in the 17th round? 17th round. Why do I keep doing that? The 17th pick? Yeah, no. George, it was 1990 they drafted Emmitt Smith. Pick number 17. They took him. They just probably thought Richmond Webb was better. And Richmond Webb was, and I'm not saying better, but a huge staple of that Miami Dolphins offense. Yeah, Nick, 100%. I'm telling you, Richmond Webb is one of the nicest human beings I've ever talked to. He'll be 48 in September. Richmond Webb was the best left tackle of the 90s. It's a bigger shame he is in the Hall of Fame than Zach Thomas, to be honest. Webb even made the 1990 All-Decade team. Yes. I told him that. I said, man, you should be in the Hall of Fame. And he was like, he essentially, again, go back and watch that video where, like, if you want in my YouTube, in the search, type in Richmond Webb. And I interviewed him. And I said that to him. I said, what is it going to take for you to get into the Hall of Fame? And he said, doing stuff like this and talking to you guys and coming on this channel and, you know, getting that word out there that he should be here. Yeah, but they had invested in Sammy. Oh, is that what you're saying? Gotcha. Sammy Smith, 1989. I got you. Richmond Webb was a great pick to protect Dan Marino's blindside. Smith is the leading rusher because Barry let him be. Keith Smith was a beast as well. Definitely. All right, fellas. I'm going to get out of here. I got a bunch of cleaning to do and a bunch of stuff to do. But it was always a blast. It was a blast hanging out with you guys. We got over 128 likes on this video. Talked about a ton of things that's happening. I got a lot of videos planned for the next couple weeks. Because if I can't get the news out of training camp, I'm going to try to get you some type of news out of training camp, and I'm going to give you a ton of content. So be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Give this video a thumbs up before you head out of here. Like I said, try to get it to 200. But I have a lot planned. Monday is going to be my linebacker secondary breakdown, final camp battle. Tuesday is the camp. So we'll see if the Dolphins make their cuts to 80 before Tuesday. If not, I will try to make a prediction. But again, always a blast hanging out with you guys, talking football, doing all that great stuff. But like usual, guys, I'll see you guys either Monday or if news breaks, I will make a video for you guys ASAP. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.